Hello everyone and welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we have some interesting news. We have some Rush skill leaks, which as most of you probably already know, we are a Rush player. We are Rush at heart. We have the whole Rush YouTube channel. So getting the Rush news is always going to be the most exciting for us. On top of that, today we are planning to just continue our grind, because until we actually get the new Rush content, there's not really a lot to go and play Rush for. And we are currently Plat 7, so we're one away from Legend, which would be really, really cool, just to get Legend in general, especially with a subpar deck. Like, I think our deck could definitely KoG. Like, I'm not going to say, like, oh, our deck is, like, crazy bad, but it is definitely not a meta contender right now, so I think pushing up with that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, who... Oh, there we go. So who do we have in chat? We have Dragson with the first. Always the first in, first out. We got Dennis. Comes in with DO. How's it going? We got Loz, who has redeemed game mat and sleeves, which we have already preemptively done, because I know Loz is very busy. Probably doesn't want to hang around and have to constantly be hanging out. We do appreciate. Grand with the first, who is also always the first one in. I don't know how they do it. Always identical timing. And then drags him with the Ulay Grand. So yeah, I guess we'll fire on him with the news, right? The news is pretty cool, because we have actually got quite... Oh, there we go. We have got quite a lot of interesting little snippets here, which does predict a few things, or it does reveal a few things ahead of time, which is really, really cool. The first one I look at is this nail skill. So if there are no max monsters in your deck, add your maximum to your deck. Okay, so this is fine. This is, you're a free-to-play, want to try out the maximum, there you go. It's kind of whatever, it's not going to be a good skill, we'll move on. Nail skill 2. This skill can be used if you have at least 8 maximum monsters in your deck. So this then does reaffirm, I think everyone kind of already knew this, but you will be able to get a playset of your maximum, right? And the only monsters in it are Cyburst type with 100 less defense, which again is fine. Return 1 card from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck, your choice, and decrease the attack of up to 2 face-up monsters on the field by 800. So you can reduce 2 of your opponents or yours, if for whatever reason you want to reduce yours. This turn, those monsters can be treated as 2 tributes to the tribute summon. So you can reduce your opponent's monsters' attack just to make them lower, or you can reduce your monster's attack in order to treat them as 2 tributes, which is okay. This is a weird skill, because when the Maximum's first release, when we first got our first wave of Cyber support, the only 2 tribute monster was the centerpiece of your Drago. So this means that we might, let's get rid of that Tachyon count for now, we might be getting more of the level 7 and 8 Cyburst monsters, which would be pretty cool. I don't remember them doing much of anything, the other Cyburst support, but maybe. Either way, this is going to be interesting just to get out a 2500 beta, which is nice. Then we have our Archive skill. This is for Thunder Beetles. Now, Thunder Beetles is something that we already did predict that we were going to be getting. This is another like mini archetype that came out alongside the Maximums, so it's not too surprising it's here. And these cards are pretty weak. They basically just have the spell and the trap to kind of work with them to try and make them good. Rand, thank you for the sub 4 months in a row. What a legend. We also were watching Grand's tournament last night, which was very exciting. We actually had, what was it, Shiranui Mirror in the finals, which was very, very exciting, because that means just it wasn't Tachyon, which I think everyone just kind of already assumed that was going to be it now. That was just the Tachyon game.
Just subscribed for 4 months.
And then obviously you moved on to the Helldivers, which is extremely popular right now. Really enjoyed watching that. Obviously, I've just been lurking, but yeah, the Thunder Beetles themselves are a bit weird. They're not particularly interesting. I don't know if this skill is going to do much for them. This is just a burn card. This destroys all level 8 or lower effect monsters on your opponent's field. But then, you know, you're stuck with a bunch of wimps that can't do much. This just gains life. The Thunder Beetle cards aren't particularly good. They're going to try and make them somewhat playable in the same way they tried to make, like, the Pyro card, well, not Pyro specifically, the Yuga boss monster. What's the skill called? Vulcan. Fast Vulcan? What is he called? I can't remember. Anyway, that guy. So can be activated during the turn. You have normal summon level 7 or higher monster with 600 less defense. One face-up monster on your opponent's field. Wait a minute. I completely missed this, right? I actually had to recontextualize this. Used if the only monsters in your deck are level 4 or Thunders, can be activated during your turn. You have normal summoned a level 7 or higher monster with 1600 or less defense. So it has to be a level 7 or higher, which means this isn't a Thunder Beater skill. So that means this might... No, there's no way it's Thunderbolt, right? So the card that immediately springs to mind is another Yuga card called... Not that one. No, it is Blazing Thunder. Thunderbolt is a weird, controversial card. Did you see my fave deck? Did you say my fave deck 2 and won the Grand Tourney? Top and won the Grand Tourney. Yeah, if you're a Shiranui fan, then yeah. So Thunderbolt is a very strange one because it's very, very good, and this card itself has spawned its own deck that became a menace, right? It became like a tier 1, possibly tier 0, depending on how you look at it, meta threat, and this card did actually get limited down to 1 copy to try and stop that from being a thing. And the reason I'm not a huge fan of this card is because it incentivizes the like aggro pile deck even harder. So I've never been a huge Thunderbolt fan, but there are some really cool stuff you can do with it. Anyway, during the turn, you normal summon this card, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, gains 300 attack, so it's fine, 26, whatever. At the end of the turn, then if you have 4 or more level 7 monsters with different names, so this is where it gets a bit funky, because now you want to just jam as many level 7 monsters with different names into your deck as possible to try and get this effect off. Then you can special summon a level 7 monster from your graveyard face up to your field. So it's a free special summon from the grave. So a free revive, as well as boosting itself up to 26, is really good. And this card was commonly seen alongside like a psychic package, which is where you'll primarily see the like Roman pick loop coming into effect. So it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Tier 0 format in Rush 2 now. So in physical Rush, the early game of Rush was plagued with Tier 0. It was, if it wasn't Tier 0 Dragoncasters, then it was Tier 0 Thunderbolt. There was a lot of mistakes made during that. So I think in trying to overcorrect for that in Duel Links, they've ended up making everything feel a little bit flat. So we're hoping that we can spice things up a bit. Obviously, this card was good because special summoning level 7 monster really good, but we already have access to something like Dark Sword Magician, which can already special summon itself, so that makes this effect already feel a little bit worse than it would have otherwise been. So we'll have to see how this actually happens, because there aren't that other many good like high level thunder monsters, and this specifically is normal summon level 7 or higher monster with 1600 defense, and it can only be a thunder type. So possibly just the Thunderbolt skill. But one face-up monster in your opponent's field loses attack due to its level times 100. Against the maximum, that's 1000. That could be relevant. Then you can change the position of one attack position monster on the field, which again, that's fine. It obviously doesn't work against maximums, but that's kind of whatever. Then we get to a very interesting one. Rower skill 1. This skill can be used if the only monsters with 1400 or more attack in your deck are light fiend types. So this is obviously very specifically Warrior Rebels. Isn't the defense too high? It's 1900. Let's have a look. 1600 defense or less. Oh wait, yeah, you're right. So it has to be a level 7 or higher. Right, let me whip out my my EDO Pro. We have a good way to show this question. I don't think we have a good way. We'll just throw in a new one then. If we do application capture. No, that's audio. That's exactly what we don't want. So if we remove this, create a new. Window capture, that would do us. Okay, if we grab this up quick. So we don't need to look at this. We go to Rush Duel. We'll just clear that off. We go to Monster. Guess that doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter. We just want Thunders. And we're looking for level 7 Thunder monsters. So that means it can only be... Oh, don't tell me it's going to be a Stormbolt Destroyer skill. No way. Okay, so Stormbolt Destroyer is not a great card, right? Your opponent has 2 or less cards in the hand. Special summon a level 4 or lower Thunder type normal monster from your graveyard face up to the field. This is probably what this is actually going to be for then. It's going to be a Stormbolt Destroyer skill. This is going to do nothing, let's be honest. Being able to get a body on the field is fine, but outside of like tribute climbing, there's no real point. And then the only other card is Cavalry Trigger Drago, which is a better card. 2500, obviously a decent attack stat. 7 top card of deck to the graveyard, which means we're not losing anything from our hand, which is always really good. Gain 300 attack, so 28 is fine. For the end of turn, also your opponent has no cards in their hand. This card inflicts piercing battle damage. So piercing is always decent, right? So this card is, I mean, it's not crazy, but it's good enough. And especially if it goes up to 28, we can also reduce our opponent's monster and then change it to defense position using the skill, and then attack into it with piercing, which is probably more likely. If we just get Stormbolt Destroyer, it's going to be so sad if it's just a Stormbolt Destroyer skill. But if we do get Blitzkrieg, that's pretty good, right? So I could see it. I could see it. I didn't think we'd get Blitzkrieg this early, because Blitzkrieg was released quite late. It was released around the time that Fusions came out. So interesting that they'd be pushing it up this far, but I mean, it's cool. Never disliked this card. It was just a little bit underwhelming as well. But yeah, I mean, that's that. So I would think if we can get, because Thunder never really stood out until we got Fusions. We got more interesting Fusion Thunders, which then kind of put them on the map as being an actual deck type outside of, you know, like the Thunder Beetles. But then we have Rower Skill 1. This, I think, is actually really, really cool because we are entering the era of maximums. And what does that mean? That means Royal Rebels suddenly become a little bit weaker because their only real boss monster struggles a little bit into maximums. You can't pop a level 10 using Heading Nutters effect. You can still weaken them with different effects, which can work, but fundamentally, their primary strategy doesn't really work against them. So this skill does actually work quite nicely. So we can send 1 card from our hand to the graveyard. That is already a little bit annoying because the main problem that Royal Rebels have is losing too many cards, right? You've got to get out a tribute monster, then tribute over it, or you've got to use cards, and you always end up, regardless of how you play the deck, with no cards. You'll like spin down to nothing, and you'll end on maybe 1 boss monster and a back row, or just 1 boss monster and 1 weak monster. So it ends up feeling kind of lackluster a lot of the time. But we can send 1 card from our hand to the graveyard, change the battle position of all defense position monsters on the field. So this is really good because this now means if our opponent is setting cards, which is the hard counter to Royal Rebels, we can flip them all up and then we can pop 1. And then we can also just get to their life points by attacking over the monsters, which is pretty good. Hey, Max. Then, level 4 or lower Fiend type monsters on your field become level 5. Now that is huge, right? This now means that we can use multiple of our monsters as tributes to summon out our bigger guys. So if we already had monsters on the field, for example, the turn flips, and then we get back to our turn, we can make our monsters all level 5. Thank you for the follow, Alice in Borderland. What is up? Yeah, we are going over the rush skills before we jump into some King of Games with the Fluffalcust. So, being able to make them all level 5 is cool. That also might be foreshadowing that we get more of our Royal Rebel boss monsters. Now, I think the ones that people are expecting are going to be Invasion and Doom Metal. So Doom Metal, this was a bit of a later one. But during the turn, you normal summon this card by attributing 2 level 7 or higher Fiend monsters. Obviously, this skill gives us 2 level 7 or higher Fiend monsters. Destroy all face-up monsters on your opponent's field. Then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the total original levels of the monsters destroyed by this effect times 100. Now, notably, this does not say level 8 or lower, and the skill will flip all of our opponent's monsters face up and give us everything we need, which means as long as we open 2 monsters and this card, the other 2 cards don't really matter, right? Because it will be you summon, then discard for the skill, then tribute both monsters for Royal Rebels Doom Metal, and bam, we wipe our opponent's entire board, which is pretty crazy. How does Royal Rebels beat Maximum? So Doom Metal is the best way they have to beat Maximum to begin with, because it can pop everything, right? So that's already something. But the other way they have is to reduce your opponent's levels. So the other part of the skill is where things get funky then, right? and decrease the level of all face-up level 5 or higher monsters on your opponent's field by 4. This means maximums become level 6, which means they can now be popped by heavy metal. So this skill, I think, is actually really strange, because I predicted that they would want to release maximums, have them be overpowered until the next box comes out, because that way people, oh, the new summoning mechanic, everyone's going to want to play it, it's going to be so much fun, everyone's going to love it, and then when people are getting sick of maximums, then you release the next box with just a ton of anti-maximum stuff. But this skill is basically saying the one deck that hard loses to maximums now is going to be fine against maximums, and arguably be one of the strongest counters to maximums, which is very strange. So it's kind of taken me aback a little bit, especially because, again, I didn't think we were going to get Doom Metal until the next box, because that would make sense as an anti-maximum card. So it's very interesting that they're doing this. Should I invest in maximums? Finally, should I play Rush Tools? I mean, if you're interested in maximums, like, they're fine. I would say that the first maximums we're getting are going to be probably the weakest of them. I mean, the Harpy Lady maximum is a really, really strong card, really strong series of cards. But the thing with the Harpy Lady deck is you actually rarely maximum summon in the dedicated Harpy Lady deck. So it's a bit funky, right? Nail is the coolest character for me, so maybe. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what it really takes, right? It's just find... You either want to play a deck that's just going to win, if you just really like winning, or you want to just play a deck that looks fun, and you'll push it past its limits, right? That's kind of the best thing you're going to get out of it, I think. But then the other big boss monster that we've been talking about getting for ages is Royal Rebels Invasion. During the turn, you normally summon this card by tributing 2 level 5 or higher monsters. Destroy all face-up level 4 or lower monsters on your opponent's field. So again, only kills wimps, but the point of this card was never to actually use its effect. The point of this card is it's a level 7 monster, so you can bring it back with Royal Rebels Echo when this card eventually comes out, and then it is a free level 7 body to be tributed off to summon something like a Doom Metal. Also Asana, I think she comes next after Nail. Yeah, it is almost certainly going to be Asana after Nail. And her maximum is also really cool. Let's have a look. Worm Excavator. I love this maximum so much. Now, it's a bit of an annoying maximum, because it doesn't deal with your opponent's setting monsters in defense very easily, which is it's always been its biggest weakness. And there is some more modern support to help out with that, but I don't think we'll be getting that in Duel Links super early, because it's generic maximum support. So if you played like maximums like this and like the Magnum Overlord, you're basically relying on cards like Pierce. So what other cards could Nail bring? So he brings with him like the Tron cards, basically. It's kind of what they've been dubbed, which is a bunch of cards that have like Zeptron, Ultron, Femtron, the Peacock Pictotron, and these are cards that all they're all there just as gas. They're just pure gas to just dig through your deck to find your maximum pieces. This kind of feels like they were worried that all the players who play the game would literally have 0 out to maximums, so they want everyone to have a way to deal with them. Yeah, I think there are still going to be some decks that are going to really struggle to deal with them. I think dragons are now going to be almost forced to run pressure, just straight up. I don't think dragons have good ways to out them. Then spellcasters are going to be like all in on Seven's Robe Magician plus weakening and strengthening cards to actually deal with it. Obviously, Royal Rebels now are going to have ways to deal with it, which is quite nice. Aquas, I still don't know how Aquas deal with them outside of exactly Triple Threat Thunder, right? Like, I think they're just going to really struggle, for example. All the side-by-side monsters, yeah, to be honest, I'm excited for this main box. Reminds me of Brains. I mean, obviously, we don't know exactly what we're getting yet, but I think it's safe to assume we're going to get a lot of these cards. But we'll have to wait and see. And then there's some of these level 7 monsters that we might be getting, but these didn't come out in the initial wave, so it's hard to know exactly. But like Seed Kroltron or Seed Crotron Brusselin, I think I've only actually played against this card one time. During the turn, you normal summon this card, send the top card of it to the graveyard. Then, if a Cyberse type monster was sent to the graveyard by its effect, you can add Cyberse type monster of 0 defense from your graveyard to your hand, up to the number of face-up monsters on your opponent's field. So, potentially it +3s you. And all the maximum monsters have 0 defense, so this would get you back all your maximum pieces from the graveyard. So, you know, there's stuff. There's also, you know, a fusion monster that will come out eventually. Again, the main point of the Cyburst monsters, especially the first wave, is just to turbo out Yggdrago. So that's kind of their one kind of thing. So if we go to Rower Skill 2, skill can be used if the only monsters in your deck are level 4 or Fiend monsters. So this is another thing that we're seeing now. Level 4 or Fiends. So rather than saying like 1400 attack or something, they're just specifically saying they got to be all level 4s or be Fiend monsters. Play up to 2 level 7 or higher light Fiend type effect monsters from your hand with different levels in face-up defense position. You cannot change the battle positions, you cannot attack directly. So what this tells me is it's just going to be things to, again, support the Royal Rebels. And potentially give us the Royal Rebels invasion. But the other big one is No Wave. No Wave is a card that, because it's a normal monster and a level 7 and a light and a Fiend, interacts with a lot of cards that other cards don't work with. And Zero Attack also does kind of fit into that as well. Where there's a lot of ways to cheat this guy out and then just have him be tribute fodder to get off some of your Royal Rebels effects. So I wouldn't be surprised if No Wave was in the next box. But all fusions will come out later. Yeah, 100% fusions will be coming out later. I would assume it could even be as early as maximum box, second maximum box with Asana stuff in it, then fusions. Like, at the pace we've been going, that wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, this is an interesting one, right? These two skills are definitely... Because the weird thing is that I don't think Royal Rebels have been struggling too much. So it's interesting that they're giving them so many skills and such decent skills. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. I guess it's because a big part of it is that the skill that we got for them, the Heavy Drive, I think it was called, is so lopsided going first or going second, and I think people don't really like that very much. Then a lot of people have actually moved on to just playing Red Eyes with it, so... Then there's the Rower and Roman skill, which is super funky. This skill can be used if the only monsters in your deck are Fiend or Psychic monsters. Return 2 monsters from your graveyard with different types that are not level 4 to your deck. Add face-up Light or Psychic monsters from your field. Sorry. 1 face-up Light or Psychic monster on your field can be treated as 2 tributes to the tribute summon of Heavy Metal or Prima. I don't like this skill. It just seems mid. I really don't think there's much synergy between those two archetypes. Being able to treat a monster as 2 tributes only really works for Heavy Metal at the very least, if it's a level 5 or higher. So I don't think anything's really going to happen with this. Then we got the Harpy skill. True, I just don't know if we will get Go Rush this year. I haven't thought about it. I mean, possibly. We're going through relatively... It sounds weird to say quick, but because of how some of the more modern cards are being released in between sets, we're getting through the majority of cards from the main boxes pretty quick. Or at least, you know, we're about to get our 3rd box, but in the actual game, this would be like the 5th box, right? So it's weird how that kind of plays out. Then we got the Harpy skill. This skill can be used if the only monsters with 1400 or more attack in your deck are wind, so we're back to the 1400 more attack thing. 1 face-up Harpy Ladies or Harpy's Pet Dragon. Now this is interesting because so far we didn't know we were getting Harpy's Pet Dragon. This soft confirms that we're getting Harpy's Pet Dragon in the next box. I actually predicted we wouldn't get a Harpy skill and that we wouldn't get any Harpy support cards because we don't need them, right? You can just jam the Harpy Ladies card and it'll be fine. Like, it's not going to be crazy, but it will be fine. So getting a skill and Harpy's Pet Dragon tells me that we're probably going to get a lot of Harpy support. They'll probably tiptoe around the really, really good stuff, but I could see us getting a few more cards and the ability to build a full Harpy deck. I don't know if we're going to be getting 3 copies of the Harpy Ladies, though. We'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, Harpy's Pet Dragon gains attack equal to the number of face-up Harpy Lady on the field times 300, and if the number of face-up Harpy Ladies on the field times 900, which means if we get out 2 of our Harpy Ladies maximum monsters at 2100 monsters, this guy gains 18, goes up to 38, which is huge. You know, 38 is crazy big, so that's nice. But then we can also boost their attack equal to its level times 100. Then if all of your opponent's monsters are in defense position, you can change the battle position of one of those monsters, which again is a really good way to get to our opponent's life points. Always going to be fantastic. Would be nice if we get more Harpy support in Duel Links, like in speed format. I mean, yeah, the problem is Harpies were a menace in Duel Links for a while, so I think people are a little bit hesitant to release that again and let it be another like Harpy dominant meta. So I wouldn't be surprised if anything that's been considered like tier 0 in the past doesn't really want to come back. Yeah, back in 2021. The next up, we have Harpy Lady skill 2. This skill can be used if you begin the duel with a deck containing at least 3 Harpy Ladies. I don't know why you'd run one of them and not the other 2, but can be activated on turn 6 onwards, which again, 6 onwards is very restrictive. Reveal a winged monster, winged beast with 2100 attack from your hand, so basically one of the 3 Harpy Ladies. Send 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard, then you can add Harpy Ladies from your graveyard to your hand. So I'm assuming that because of the way this is worded, this is only the centerpiece, right? I think otherwise it would say Harpy Ladies or Harpy Ladies L or Harpy Ladies R. From your hand, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, your opponent takes no battle damage this turn. So this is a good way to try and just get the maximum out, but it'll be really, really late. You can't inflict damage to your opponent. It's I'm not a fan of it personally, but you never know. Maybe we'll see something with it. I kind of hate the Tachyon and Shira meta a lot. I mean, yeah, I think it's one of those. I actually think, for me, Shiranui is more annoying to play against than Tachyon, which might sound a bit weird, but it's because you can play around a lot of what the Shiranui deck does, but not completely. And if they get out that trap card that stops them from taking damage, then you've got to completely pivot your strategy, and it's a bit weird. It kind of feels like because you're only getting 1 copy each, you don't want to sit in your hand and go ahead and use them, and late game put the pieces back into your hand. Yeah, I think you don't need to, right? I think it's fine if the game's going late, right? But a lot of the time we're seeing like aggro piles with Dragius just end the game so fast. That like, the one benefit this does have is that if you're able to assemble your maximum, you can make a 3500 attack monster, which is fine, right? 3500 attack or 3400 attack is still decent and hard for your opponent to overcome, and it can attack all 3 of your opponent's monsters, which will clear, which is kind of fine. It's just a better version of Waboku. Yeah, Waboku is annoying. Like, Waboku isn't necessarily, like, crazy powerful. It's just like, oh, I can't kill you this turn. Now I've got to set up a going first board, even though I'm going second. And it's just awkward to pivot into that if you didn't know you were going to be going into that. Shira is not that bad. Again, it's like, I have beaten more Tachyon than I've lost to, but I have not played against the best Tachyon players, right? Realistically, if I was playing against really strong duelists playing Tachyon, I would probably lose 100% of games against Tachyon. But I think the same is probably true of Shiranui as well, right? The Shiranui players I beat is primarily because they're not fantastic, right? I don't think I'm outplaying these like tier 0 meta decks. I think it's just my opponents are bricking or they're making mistakes, and I'm doing what I can to try and capitalize. So next up we have the Hangry Roman skill. This skill can be used if the only monsters of 1400 more attack in your deck are psychic monsters with 0 defense. At the beginning of your turn from turn 2 onward, you won't be able to hold back anymore and become a Hangry Duelist. So a second way to become Hangry, I guess. Can be activated on turn 2 onwards if you have normal summoned level 7 monster. Add 1 level 2 or higher psychic type effect monster with 500 attack or less from your graveyard to your hand. So this is actually a bit weird to me. So we can get a level 2 or higher. So I don't know why we can't just take any. I guess it just doesn't want us to have level 1s. The only level 1 psychic I can think of that's actually... Because Roman Pick's level 2. Right, let's double check that. No, it is level 1. Okay, so it literally doesn't want you to take this. I thought Roman Pick was level 2 for some reason, but yeah. So they don't want you to get Roman Pick with this skill. So we can add anything else, but with 500 or less attack. See, that's also where it gets a bit weird, because that... What level is, like, Candy? Candy's level 1, so you can't take that. I don't really know what we're talking about here, then. Like, what specifically... Let's have a look again. Let's get up our list. Psychics that are... Let's go level 2 for now. So I assume there's something specific we're talking about here. There's no way we're getting the Stars Hand stuff. That's... Oh, you never know. Maybe. Maybe we do get the Stars Hand stuff. That would be very interesting if that came out this early. I mean, Dream Drummer is an option as well. But, like, if it's a skill to get us into something, like, kind of specific, I feel like you've got to make it something really good. I don't know. It's a weird one. Has to be 500 attack or less. It could be lower. I'd have to really stop and think about that, I think. As to whether or not there's something specific you could do with this, but it's jumping through a lot of hoops to get a card from your graveyard back to your hand. So, maybe. If they ban the trap, shares will be fine. Also, I want them to lose access to limit 3 traps, 2, so put Squire to 3. I think that's what a lot of people are saying, just put like Squire to 3 or Solitaire or something. They not banning the trap. They really don't want Psychics to be good for some reason. Or put the trap to 1 or Shade. Like, why do they get any level 4 when they get... Why don't they get to play any level 4? Why do they get restricted? Yeah, it's very odd. I think if... I'm a little bit surprised that Konami hasn't just forced every deck to play only their own type. Because that seems to be what they want people to do. They're like, if you know, all the Yuga skills are play Spellcasters or Spellcasters and something else, right? That's like the majority of their skills. So it's weird that some of the really powerful decks don't have these restrictions. I think the more powerful the skill, the more restrictive it should be. But like this skill feels very restrictive without having much power behind it. Again, I'd have to like actually sit down, go through all the possible cards that this could be referring to, but I don't know. I don't know why they're so scared of Psychic as well. Like Psychic has never really been crazy powerful. Like the most people have done with Psychic is play a lot of the good Psychic cards not in Psychic decks. Like Thunderbolt was a fantastic place for people to play the Roman Pick loop. So, I don't know, it's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. But then we have the Yuga skill. And this is obviously Yuga's maximum skill. This skill can be used if the only monsters in your deck are Spellcasters or Machine type with 2100 or less attack. So, this is like you can use 7's Rogue Magician, but you can't play the other Machine cards. No Ace Breaker, for example. We can send one maximum monster from your hand to the graveyard, set any monster from your hand onto the field. Then you can reduce the attack of one face-up monster on your opponent's field by 800 to the end of this turn. At the end of the turn, use the skill, return a maximum monster from your graveyard to the top of your deck. So, it's weird. So this is like a slow way to set up the maximum, and it makes sense because you can't just use a skill to set up your maximum because it's an OTK maximum, right? So if you had a skill to guarantee get your maximum out, it becomes problematic because then it becomes, oh, my skill just wins the game. So it's tricky. I think this is probably fine. I don't actually know if you use this. I think arguably you could just play the maximum cards in a more generic deck with a more generic skill and it'd probably be better. Set monsters can be flipped up. Oh yeah, because of skill. It wasn't normal set, so it hasn't... Yeah, I just like mini rant. I hate that in Speed, where you can use skills to set cards and then still change their battle position. Like I dislike that so much because it goes against everything I know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like skills just break everything around that. But like what's the benefit of setting? Like, just so it gives you a... They do that for a reason. They want you to be able to respond. See, that makes sense, right? Because obviously, when you use a skill, your opponent doesn't respond because it doesn't start a chain. There's nothing happening, right? It's just like a thing. So, yeah, it makes sense, right? Logically, it makes sense. It's like a necessary evil. It's not even really an evil, right? It's a mild frustration that I just dislike, but again, logically, that does make sense. They do want you to be able to respond. But then there's a lot of cards as well that specifically say, like, oh, when your opponent summons a monster, not when they flip summon, right? So, or when they, when they normal summon or special summon, but then they coincidentally just leave off that little flip summon bit there. So if the monster just appeared on the field, you could immediately do an XE summon, for example. Yeah, rather than being able to, like, Book of Moon it or whatever else you might want to do. The issue with Rush Duel, though, is there are very specific timings for their trap cards. All of our trap cards have a requirement. We cannot like, enter a neutral game state and then just use cards. So I'm trying to think what you could do to a flip summon in Rush. Like, Now, does this filter keywords? No, it's just only going for the names. Not really much we can do with this, unfortunately. But that's fine. We don't need to look through them. There's probably something that we're just not remembering, or there could even be new cards coming out that do. But overall, I'm excited. I actually think I'm excited for the Royal Rebel stuff, which is something I didn't think I'd be saying. I think that's the most interesting stuff here. I think Yggdrago could potentially be really, really powerful. I'm really excited to see what Thunder Monsters we get. If we do get Blitzkrieg, this is going to be fun. I don't know if it will be good, but it will be fun. Because that's the other problem is Yggdrago. The Blitzkrieg still doesn't deal with maximums, right? You can reduce its attack by 1,000. Blitzkrieg goes up to 28. You then still need something more to actually make that work. I mean, what else is there even in here? I don't think this is going to do anything. This maybe, but we'd have to wait and see if there's like anything that actually goes with it. I think this Harpy skill looks more interesting to me. But this one's less restrictive, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Because the 1400 or more attack, a wind, that basically... That doesn't really stop much. It stops like the Beast engine, or like the good version of the Beast engine. It also stops the good version of the Aqua engine. This Yuga skill seems really mid. Not a huge fan of it. I think, again, arguably you could just use like Hammer Crush Deal or something. Like just something generic that doesn't... Or just life point gain or something. But maybe. And then we just got some skill-specific stuff, or event-specific stuff. This doesn't really matter. This just gets them their maximum immediately and is like, yeah, this is going to be your training to deal with maximums. You'll enter a game, stare down a maximum, and then beat it. Which I think is good, because people are going to need that, right? They're going to need to understand what does beat maximums. But yeah, overall, some pretty cool stuff going on there. Now, let's get rid of that. And then, I think now might actually finally be time to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Who would have thought that? After 40 minutes of just talking, we might actually play the game. Last time we left off, we did make it to Stage 2 of the KC Cup, which was very exciting. Then we didn't play in Stage 2 whatsoever. We hopped back into our ranked, and we were playing up to Platinum. We are one rank away from Legend, and that's kind of what we're going for today. If we can get to Legend rank, we will be ecstatic, because again, our deck being the Fluffalcust, which I guess I check on the screen for now. Where is it? Where have I snuck it away to? Not that one. That one. There we go. Is fine. I want to say it's fine. I don't want to sit here and say our deck's like garbage and that we're doing really well to be doing okay with it, but it's not tiered, so we're just quite happy to be climbing with it at all. And we're not the strongest speed duelist, so any progress is great. But like we said, until the new cards actually come out, until we get our hands on the new maximum stuff, the new speed stuff, the new box, on the 28th we will be getting our Harpy Ladies. I assume we'll also be getting our event at the same time, and then we'll be getting the box a little while after. Once we do get all that, this is one of the hands of all time. Is this our normal summon? We use that discard toy vendor? Oh, that's so gross. Waiting for more Arc V and Vrain stuff. I think we actually... No, because this has to be our normal, right? Which means discarding a second toy vendor doesn't actually do anything for us. But then we have to guarantee we get lucky. If we do... No matter how we do this, it seems so bad. Right, we're going to go toy vendor. We're going to discard there. We're just going to hope. He has a response here, of all places. This is probably what, Crow? Okay, thank the Lord. Alright, we'll summon out Dog with the special. Dog effect. There's no reason to take that. We can actually just take Wings and go for the high roll. Or we discard that, which does get us an extra body. Does the extra body do much for us? I think I'd almost rather have the Wings. Right, this is greedy, but we're going to take the Wings. Oh, especially because I know what he's got. This is especially greedy, because he's just going to banish it. He's going to use DD Crow. At the very least, I suppose it forces out the Crow. There's no way he lets this stay in grave. It's got to be Crow, right? What else could it be? He was able to use it as soon as the card went in graveyard. We got the Altergeist rerun. I think that's the other thing, though, is that the Altergeist rerun is going to be... Like, when this ends, I guess, is when the maximum event's going to start. Alright, let's just go for this now, then. If he wants to stop it, that's fine. No? Interesting. Right, we'll send this. Well, there is the sabers that we wanted. We're also playing very slow. We need to start speeding this up. Activate our skill. Send sabers. Send chain. Special sheep. Cheap effect. Log back to hand. Bring back chain. Then we'll go Galatea. Egypt chain effect. Grab fusion. And we'll go 1, 2. Bring out decode. Then we'll go Symbol Skeleton. This is where he's going to use Crow. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing we could do about this was the issue. And we can still set this here. And then that's kind of it, right? We have a negate. Yeah, the issue was we had no way to, like, force the Crow ahead of time. We knew he had it. I assume Crow is really good in the mirror, so we're just getting hurt by the fact that Tachyon loses to Crow. Waiting for more of the missing Altergeist support we need. We need like 3 cards to at least make them better, along with a playable skill. The thing is, what kind of skill would it even be? I'm pretty sure we're just straight up dead here. Right, comes out Galactic Spiral Dragon. I guess we'll put our Tachyon counter back up. Because who doesn't love just keeping track of the amount of Tachyons we play against? We are going to have to make this smaller probably as well. Maybe not. Alright, try and fix this song. That song's just broken. Right, next one. No, yeah, that's fine. You can MST that. There's no real reason to take either of these, but I guess we'll take dog. Our deck is like all Orcus cards, right? We got what? Bear. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Similar to like Salamangreat. How are we not dead? Is this guy bad? He's gonna have an Omni. Summoning dog doesn't actually accomplish much, so I think do we just go horror here? Unless we get a Link 2. Right, let's summon dog. So we could just discard anyway. So we got an Omni. So there's no reason to use that, so we might as well go straight in with the Frightful Fusion. If he's got the second Omni, there was nothing we could do. We'll go 1, we'll go 2. No reason to do that one. Go 1. Go 2. He's got the second Omni. Oh no, second Omni, okay. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do with this hand. Yeah, when Fluffles and other decks get more support, it'll be better. I mean, yeah, I'm really hoping that we get some Fluffle support sooner than later. But I think Konami know that Fluffles are like really not bad. I don't want to say they're like crazy strong or anything, but like if they got all their support, they'd be pretty damn good. I'm amazed we've actually lasted this long. And as well, if we had the ability to just like summon one card, we did just win last turn. But we could only summon the Sabers. We had no way to get a second body on field. Variant Force. That should just be game, right? Summon, summon, link both, attack, attack game. It's just really awkward to play right now, even in the current meta. What, we talk about Fluffle still, or are we going back to Altergeist? Or just both? I'm pretty sure this guy is awful, right? He should have been able to kill me on that first turn, right? There's no reason he shouldn't have been able to just straight up end my existence. That'll be a pop. Alright, we'll just go next rather than sitting there waiting. He's taken too long to end the game. Just any decks that need it. I think the thing is, there are so many decks that still have tons more support to come out. You bell. Okay, so probably just Eternal Bond. Now the good thing is, we have the means to never lose to this deck. The downside is, we often misplay and lose to this deck. Oh, this is also completely awful hand. Alright, we go Bear. Bear gets this Vendor. Flip this over. I think we have a higher chance of hitting a Fluffle if I do this now. But I guess, does it matter? Do I even want a Fluffle right now? I guess we want to not hit a Fluffle. So we'll go Dog. Dog effect. We will grab... I actually think the best thing to take is probably straight up Wings. Because this gets us 2 more draws. And we desperately need to find the Orcus part of the deck. There we go, that's what we wanted. Right. So now we'll go Wings. Thank you for the follow, Zohia. That is such a bad draw. We've already used a bear this turn. Taking this gets us another body, which is probably what we need more than anything. So we'll special out the sheep. And this only summons from hand or graveyard. Okay, so we will use this actually. We so rarely do this from hand. Then we'll go Harp. Into Nightmare. Both of our targets, though, are currently in our hand, which is super gross. We have no way to get a good discard from them. So we'll go Galatea. Use Egypt Chain. This gets us the fusion. Then we're going to go Nightmare Effect even. Boost Galatea. Send the Harp. Then we'll activate Galatea. Put back the Nightmare. It'd be high rolling as heck to go for return. Although without it, I can't even get out the boy. So I think we actually do take return here. Because we have no other good way to get a discard. So we are going to take this. So we'll send this. Or two. Oh, that's the high roll. That's the high roll. You love to see it. So now we'll go 1, 2, into this. Then we're going to go Symbol Skeleton. Bring back Galatea. There's no way we can get exactly what we want here. Oh, I guess we possibly could if we high rolled the crap out of it, but we're not going to go for that. We'll just go for Ding. We will attach. Then I think that's just kind of it. Alright. Alright. You could have activated Harp first. What do you mean? We already activated Harp. Trying to... The problem is I don't read chat during my turns because I need to focus because I'm really stupid. So I have to try and reconnect what we were talking about like 2 minutes ago. It's when you activated Wings first. So the reason we did it the other way around is because when we use Harp Horror, it locks us into dark machines, right? Or dark monsters, I should say, not machines. So I could have done that, but then I wouldn't have been able to get like the sheep summon, for example. And it means that if I had drawn into a toy vendor, I wouldn't have been able to resolve that effect to get an extra body. So like it's like pick your poison. It's like either lock yourself into something but guarantee you get its effect to get out the Symbol Skeleton, or take the risk, hope you don't draw into the Garnet. And obviously, you know, I feel like I don't know if there is a correct answer. It's just like I picked one of the two options that was available, right? It's a weird one. It's like half the time I'll end up milling Frightfur Fusion off of Toy Vendor. And it's like, I don't want to do that. And I could have, for example, forced the chain ahead of time. But then that puts me at a disadvantage in other ways. It's really weird how it kind of works out sometimes. What else could I have done here? I could have used this, discard this. That gets me one extra body. During... Yeah, I don't think there's a good way that we could have gotten out our Long as well as Ding. So I love having Long Girsu in this space. And just being able to like threaten the EMZ. I have a feeling our opponent's going to take a very long time. All right, let's catch up with the other chat as well. Hey, what's up from Zoe here? Welcome on in. I really hate Tachyon, haha. I play Suship. Suship is such a cool and based deck. Let's be honest. It's very simple, but it does what it does very well, and it has tons of room to play a lot of the meta cards, which does feel really, really good. Being able to play things like IDP and Book of Moon, for example, just really, really good. There's Bakura in here with the little Pikachus. Welcome, welcome on in. Will our opponent ever make his move? That is the question. We may never find out. Because this board isn't actually that bad for him to deal with. I can't tell if that's a reference to the song or not, Grand Harrier. Stalling, it seems. That's the other thing, though, is some people just have, like, really bad connection or, like, a really bad phone on top of, like, having, like, all the animations on, and sometimes they just take forever. But, I mean, if we're getting roped, right? It would still be a win. And if he plays the game, we just get to play the game. So we're in kind of a win-win situation. It's just, like, mildly annoying having to wait. Be interesting to see if we can get to King of Games, though, before the Rush stuff comes out. So the Rush stuff comes out a week tomorrow, which means we have a total of 2 more streams before the new Rush content. So I doubt we'll hit KoG. Just hitting Legend is kind of my goal. If I can hit Legend, I'll be quite happy. And we've got, again, this stream and then 2 more streams to try and hit Legend. And we're 1 rank away. So I like to think we'll be able to do that within that time frame. And there it is. We take the dub. Alright. Let's try and get into a real game. What's it going to be? Seto Kaiba. So is this going to be actually Blue Eyes is the question. We're going second, which can be better. I think against Blue Eyes I'd rather go first. Ah, this hand is... doesn't really do anything at the moment. We have to kind of hope. Okay, we've got Sage. Sage takes Veiler. Ugh, that's so gross, using Sage to get Veiler. Searches the MR. Drops the MR. Is Abyss. Surprised he didn't get the effect off unless it's... Yeah, he should have got his effect off, right? Here's for Spirit Dragon. Spirit Dragon effect Veiler pass. Alright, we'll go Bear. That's our start. Alright, we're going to activate the effect. We're going to discard Wings. Let's just go Wings straight away. Let's see what he does to this. If he's got a Crow, there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll go Toy Vendor. Right, we'd really like to hit a Fluffle here. We have so many of them in the deck. There we go. Alright, dog comes down. This might get Veilered. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit tricky. There's no real reason to take that unless I just want an extra summon. Which I might just want an extra summon, to be honest. No matter how we do this, it gets a little bit crusty. We've already used a bear, so we can't use that again this turn. We haven't had a normal summon yet. So I could just take anything and just normal it out. It's tempting just to take bear and normal summon it out. If I use him, I can dump. Okay, I think that's going to be the play then. There's nothing we can actually do with these, so I think here we will just take the bear. Right, we'll go Nightmare Effect. Boost up dog. Is that a misclick? That must be a misclick, right? Send World Wand. World Wand effect. Bring back Nightmare. Okay, so now we're going to use this effect. I found White Princess useful in this meta. Not a lot of links at the moment, so it can save you very well or be used to OTK if you're going second. Nice, nice. We haven't really got any anti-meta stuff in the deck at the moment. But a lot of the anti-meta stuff actually hurts our deck, so this is actually kind of a pretty rough time to play the old Fluffalcust. Alright, let's summon out our Orcus Nightmare here. So this is... cannot be targeted or destroyed. Well, it's a good thing we don't do either of those things here. So we'll go 1, 2. Summon out the old Galatea. So now we will activate Galatea effect. We'll put this back. Set this. Or normal summon there. We'll go 1, 2. Summon out our decode. We'll go symbol. Bring back Galatea. Then we'll go ding. Over the Galatea. Then we'll send this to grave. We'll use this just in case. Go to battle. We will just clean up this game. Nice, 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 nice. Alright. Typical Blue Eyes. Although that searching out effect Veiler was so cheeky. Thank God he just threw it away randomly, because he could have easily not died there. And we go again. Australian Plat 1. That's what he's got. Ooh. Yami Marek is always a tricky one. Playing Shadow Game. Is this the burn one? Well, there's no way to get around this. Right, we'll summon out Dog. I think we need to straight up take Sheep here, right? Like, what else do we do with this hand? Taking Wings doesn't get us anywhere. Unless, like, we super high roll. Yeah, I think it's Sheep. We really need to get access to the Orcus part of the deck, but this hand doesn't do that very well. No matter how we do this, it's super crusty. There's like... There's just straight up no good way to do it. I could put this back to top and get an extra special, but again, that doesn't do anything. So I think we just straight up go Toy Vendor here. Activate it. That's so awkward. No. We'll use this. Put this back. Then what? Like, there's nothing else left to do. Yeah, we just have nothing. This was just such a bad hand. Like, we could have tried to high roll, and instead of taking the Sheep, we could have gone for Wings. Then we have to use Toy Vendor, discard, hope, and pray the top card was a Fluffle, which in this case it was. Then we could have linked off the two of them to get an extra card in grave with the... I actually wanted him to attack into us, and he just chose not to, which is a little bit annoying. God, he's so bad, isn't he? I mean, do we just go for this? I have to discard that, which means I won't have the normal. I have no way to pop the face down monster. Right, let's go 1, 2. Summon out Phoenix. Phoenix effect. Discard and get rid of this back row. Which was counter gate. Okay, that's pretty good for us then. So now I can just make that if I want, but I could just go right for fusion. Go 1, 2. I probably should have popped my own Toy Vendor to get an extra summon here, to be honest. And we'll get rid of this. I mean, I still could. Nah, we'll get rid of that. And then just for a little bit of safety, we'll go into Decode. Let's see if he has the Kite Roid. Of course he has the Kite Roid. Why wouldn't he be playing Kite Roid? Wait, what? He's playing Karibo? Why would you be on Karibo? Is he gonna Lava Golem me? Okay. Don't you just die here though? Normal summon. Battle. Mate, how does this deck get to platinum, bro? How on earth does, like, the worst burn deck of all time make it to platinum? What is even? Alright, come on. We can do this. We can climb all the way up. No, we're not going to rank all details. We can make it intelligent. We just need to win a couple more games. Oh, I need to click reboot. I remember this. This was a... Although, isn't it only when you get into, like, the actual game itself? I remember someone telling me about this last stream. How it can, like, bug out and give you a loss. Well, this might just be a loss then. Imagine if we got Battle Fader and Swift Scarecrow. I think for a lot of people, yeah, it would just be a loss, wouldn't it? Thanks. Duel Links. Yeah, it's a lose. Yeah, it's reboot instead of retry always. Well, that's the second time it's ever happened to us, so we haven't got, like, the muscle memory built in. And obviously when you're just playing PvE, you're not going to reboot because it'll just work immediately. Yeah, we didn't even gain a rank though, even after that loss. We're going first. Our hand is ass. We can maybe get this to work. We can go dog. We need to get something in the grave either way. So I think it has to be bear. Activate bear. We have to send Harp Horror here. Then we have to hope that we get a Fluffle. Oh, again, the worst possible card it could have been. That's sad, but... Again, we can only do what we can do, right? Oh, we've fucked it as well. We meant to summon Sheep first. Okay, we're misplaying out the arse here, but that's fine. I find it crazy that most combo deck of the meta is also the most stall deck of the meta. Yeah. Alright, we'll go Nightmare. Boost Galatea. Grab out World Wand. Then we'll go World Wand. Bring out Nightmare. Then we're going to use Galatea, put back World Wand. Here, I think we actually have to take return. It's very high roll, but we need to get this out of our hand so that we have the follow-up play. Well, this will let us do this, which is something. And we'll go for a negate, I guess. We're not going to have the babble. But this gets us everything else. There's nothing else we can realistically do. We just go ding pass. Alright, this is not a very strong board, and we're probably against Tachyon. If we had Babel, there was maybe a slim chance, but now there is almost zero chance. Mind control, bro. I mean... Do I just let him? Go for it. Let's take it. I mean, we have access to it later, I suppose. Alright. Let's get that Tachyon counter up. Now, our one saving grace is that a lot of Tachyon players are dog shit. So there might be a chance. A lot of them just like really, really suck and they just misplay constantly. Because they just, you know, looked up a guide and went, ooh, this deck's good, I'll just play this. And then they just completely make the wrong monsters and stuff. And this guy isn't in King of Games yet. He's not even in Legend. So chances of him being garbage, reasonably high. Like, if you're playing the best deck in the game, and it's going towards the end of the month, and you're not in KoG, like, what happened, right? Something's happened. Something's gone wrong. And that's just lethal on board. Well, we tried. This is the other problem, is a lot of the cards that people are teching to deal with Tachyon really hurt Fluffalcust. So like mind control is for the mirror, right? That's the primary use of it. And unfortunately, it also hurts our deck. If we had had Babel up, maybe we could have done something there, because we could have still had the Banish to interact. Right, we always summon Dog. Oh no, Gnomes doesn't hurt us specifically, but it's the cards that other decks are playing. We already have access to that. We don't really need anything else on that front. We're going to use that effect. We're going to discard that. So I guess it's just Sabers. Because we can't take Wings because we need to discard that for that. So it's Sabers here. Activate our skill. Send Sabers, send Chain. We'll go Bear. Activate the Vendor. Vendor effect. Send Harp. I mean, we don't just not summon the body, right? Right, we summon Nightmare. This is the first time all day we've actually just got to do our full combo. It's really quite nice. Go into this, or then activate Nightmare. Doesn't matter what we boost, it's all getting linked off. Send Symbol Skeleton. Then we'll put Nightmare back in the deck. Grab out the Babel. Then we'll go into Decode. Followed by Symbol Skeleton. Bring back Galatea. Then we'll overlay into Ding. And then reattach the Symbol Skeleton. Flip over Babel. Pass turn. Which, again, depending on what kind of hand they have, this is arguably not very good. Hey, Globe. If they have, like, a very Yubel heavy hand, then we get punished super hard. But if they have, like, a very Neos flavored hand, then this is kind of what we have to do. Well, that's not what we want to see. The other issue is he doesn't target very much with this deck, if at all. I feel like we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. If we don't make this board, then I guess we could have gotten an extra body out, potentially. linked this off and then just had the quick effect pop, which would have been better. But again, it's all hindsight, right? We know that because he's dropped a Terra Incarnate. If he just went like straight Neos Fusion and just made the Kluger, this ends up being better. Yeah, there was nothing we could do against that. It's a shame. Because again, if he didn't have the Yubel, we just win there. But I think against Yubel players, we have to just always predict the Yubel. The problem is they very rarely actually do a Yubel play. That's the problem. Like, most of the time we play against Yubel, they just go Kluger, and they don't actually summon Terra Incarnate. My next longest combo is normal Sublimination Knight, quick summon Squeak Knight, Synchro into Hasta, push summon Gearfried, Battle Phase, I cast Hasta into bigger monster, I Hasta to my opponent's monster, activate Hand Trap, which is Gearfried to negate my Hand Trap, then sending Hasta to Graveyard, then I Snatch Steel. Yep. Needs very specific board and hand state for it to be optimal to do so. Hello, how's it going? Yeah, we're having a good time here. Welcome on in, Zetsu. Well, I mean, we always throw stuff in the graveyard, right? Oh, we got that off. Alright, let's activate Vendor. Vendor effect. Discard Nightmare. That's interesting. If we use this, boost his guy, send, that gets us a second body. How do we get a third body? Because we need that in graveyard. We're not going to have any cards in our hand. Alright, let's activate Bear here. Oh, we haven't normaled yet. What am I doing? I don't need to discard this. If I can just normal Symbol Skeleton. Use Nightmare. Or boost Symbol. Grab out World Wand. World Wand. Brings back Nightmare. Into the Teia that is Gala. Galatea effect. Put this back. We can take back Babel. Which does give us something, but it's still not great, because we don't have any way to get an extra body still. So I can use that, get back, then link off. I'd have to go into... No matter how I do it though, I'd only have one banished, so that wouldn't work. So I think I just have to go straight into Ding here. Has he got Vela? He's just going to tag. If he tags, I get to banish the new card. What? What can I do with this? What the heck is Fluffal Bear asking me to do? What was that? Alright, we could use that to bring back that, which I guess is potentially game, depending on what he's got in hand. Let's go for it. If we have a lethal line, we should try and go for it, right? No, Kiteroid. It turns out we can beat Wicked Witch Pass. Who would have thought? If I do get off, I almost always get lethal. Nice. Right. We were really close to ranking up. Obviously, we staggered a little bit. But another couple wins. We should be able to get there. Pegasus. I'm not sure what to make of Pegasus. Oh, we're in our rank up game against Pegasus. This could be a... We're going second, and it is Toons. Toons are a little bit annoying, because if they just set a bunch of briefcases, it's really irritating to deal through to like a couple of Omnis. Oh. Magical Musketeers, okay. Well, there's Bear. We'll start by activating our skill. Send Chain, we'll send Sabers. Then... That's normal dog. Use the effective dog. We will simply add sheep. We'll activate Bear. I guess we do this first. We'll special out sheep. Activate sheep. Dog back in hand. Bring out chain. Goes for Lance. Triggers this. Picks Cross Dimension. Which one's this? It's just a negate. Okay. I mean, that's fine. We don't need to link right now. Do I want to just link right now? Well, I could. Just go for those. Right, let's go for a link. Go Brute. Chain's effect. This way, when we do use the toy vendor, we don't have to worry too much about it. We'll add this. We'll activate Brute Enforcer. Discard Wings. Target Casper. Gonna go for the negate. Now we'll flip over Toy Vendor. Activate Toy Vendor. Discard Wild One. We'll go Wings. Plus Bear. Toy Vendor effect will draw. Or will draw, will search. Guess we'll take another dog. Who do we currently have in here? Okay, so we do still want to get our harp in the grave. Might as well summon out the bear. I mean, do we just shotgun the guy now? We don't need to. Right, we'll do this. We'll go Harp Horror. Bring out Nightmare. We'll go for this, using this and this. Out comes Galatea. I could use this. I don't really need to. It's a card I'd rather have put back in deck, I suppose. So we'll go Nightmare here. Boost whatever. Send this to grave. Then here, we'll pop this back in. Set the Babel. I guess we'll go for the targeted protection, because there's a lot of cards that do just target. Then we'll go Symbol Skeleton. Bring out Galatea. Then we'll overlay Galatea into Ding. We'll get rid of his guy. We'll flip this over just in case. Then we're going to drop the Frightful Fusion. Because we always have to play around the Kiteroid. So we didn't need to. And that should be Legend rank, which is always really nice. Next boss is Rushbox, or next box is Rushbox Hype. Why is that guy using that skill? Anyway, 2 world, literally a block. Literally block a spell slash trap zone. Yeah, I don't know. Your target protection comes from decode, right? Yes. That is our only way to protect ourselves from being targeted. Alright, we got Legend, which is what we wanted, right? We just wanted to hit Legend. That was our goal. If we can hit KoG, that would be fantastic. But we are by no means expecting to get there, right? We got all these Legend ranks to go up. There's like this win streak at the end. Like realistically, we're not hitting KoG. At least not in the limited amount of time that we've given ourselves. Orcus are deck machines and Fluffles are dark beasts. So the Fright Furs are dark. The Fluffles themselves are light. Alright, we summon Dog. Dog effect always has to search Bear here. We activate Bear. We set Vendor. Yeah, the Fluffles are light, but the Fright Furs are dark. Okay, that's what we wanted to be in the graveyard. So that's now sorted us out a little bit. So now we'll go Wings. Hey, we'll take it. Not gonna lie, during second stage of KC Cup, I just try out the tech FDK and it was so much fun. Oh no, Zach. We don't admit that in public. That's something we do behind closed doors in the comfort of our own homes. But yeah, I know a lot of people played the Tachyon FDK deck and got on with it quite well, so I don't think you're alone in that. It's another Eternal Bonder! Like, we've got to remember to try and make our board with our guy in the graveyard. That's if we can even make a board. This hand's saying otherwise at the moment. Right, we go Bear. Bear gets his Vendor. Activate Vendor. Vendor effect. Discard Heart. We'll get the search off that, I suppose. We go Harp into Nightmare. normal symbol skeleton. Go into Galatea. We'll go Nightmare. Boost Galatea. Dump World Wand. We'll go World Wand. Special out Nightmare. We'll go Galatea. Shuffle back World Wand. Grab out the Babel. We then go... The problem is we still have to just end on the same... We don't need decode for this board. But then Long is really important for breaking the board. As well as he just doesn't summon in these two zones. So like... I feel like I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. And because we don't have an extra way to get another body on board, we just are going to end with Long. We'll put it in defense and see if that changes anything. I still want the targeted protection just in case. Even though this deck almost never targets. Can we just pass on this, I think? I think they're going to make a new broken skill for Evil Eyes. Just wait. I think if they were going to, they would have released it with this box. That's kind of where my head's at. Now, whether or not, you know, that is how they do things, but what would have made sense to me. What? Again, why is it asking me to use Edge Imp Chain? Like I can do anything with Edge Imp Chain. Go, I'll activate Edge Imp Chain effect. It's so weird, it's like bugged. What does it do? Someone special summon in hand. If it goes down with special summon, you can place one visionary monster from your deck. So you spend track card. Okay. Maybe they're waiting after the nerf for Tak and Nui, then release the skill. I mean, maybe. It just seems weird to not do it with the release of everything else. Okay. Gets out the increase. Summons up Vial. Okay. So now we banish. Grab a poly. Imagine if Komani didn't hit it sure at all, but only hit Gnomes. Gnomes is an annoying trap card. Alright. Where are we going with this? Are we gonna fusion something big? I'm gonna like Trinity or something? Oh, we'll go for Plasma. I mean, that does mess with us quite a bit. If he targets the wrong card, though. There's nothing I can really do about this. If I try to negate, it won't work. I would just kill my monster for no reason. Can I beat Plasma? Is Plasma like literally a card that I can actually do anything about? I don't think I can beat Plasma. My deck entirely relies on monsters to do everything. If he fusions Plasma away, we can do something. No. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's literally anything we can do. We have no way to gain attack. Yeah. That we can't beat Plasma. We physically, our deck just does everything with monsters. There's nothing we can do against Plasma. Oh, floodgates! Floodgates, floodgates, floodgates. It's like, it's just... It's a little bit annoying. Just getting floodgated out of the game. It's so sad when your opponent, like, they just straight up just drop a floodgate and you're just like, I don't have the out, so I just lose. That's it, game over. Because we made a good board there as well. We just couldn't beat Floodgate. We keep drawing these really mid hands as well. Alright, dog. I mean, this does get us places. It's just not perfect. We take bear here because we need to discard both. Activate bear. Boy vendor. Use the effect. Discard harp. That sucks so much. Watch us now mill Frightful Fusion. Just a real... Yep. We called it. We called it. Of course. Of course. We literally couldn't have hit worse cards. This is not our game. We have milled the two most garnety garnets in the deck. I mean, we still play it out, right? But we are already so... We have basically already lost the game. Like, our opponent would have to really mess this up to lose here. Pop this back in. Get out the return. I mean, we still have to just do what we can, right? God, milling Babble makes our turn 1 shit, and milling Frightful Fusion makes our turn 2 shit. So, like, we are just so boned here. Right, we can attach Symbol Skeleton. But yeah, we are just so screwed. We need our opponent to have bricked catastrophically to have a chance here. Wait, why does Edge Cane keep popping off? Because of a bug. That's why. It shouldn't be. And if we choose to try and use its effect, it just doesn't do anything. That's fine. Okay, I'm not really sure where you're going with this. You're going to get 1 pop, I'm going to negate it. It's one of those other weird things as well where Life Twins don't really brick. They can't really brick. Then we'll link into pink. Pink brings back blue. Blue gets a pop. We negate. How many back row? Only 2? Okay, maybe we can do stuff here. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is immediately summon so we have the negate online. Should have brought this to stage 2. Do not think that would have gone well for us, you know? Let's just grab wings. Like, it's the greedy option, but like, there's no point in going for any kind of fusion shenanigans, so... I mean, that's funny. Right, let's go wings. Maybe we shouldn't have done it in this order because... No, that's fine. I don't know which one we activated. We'll just send that one. That's what we didn't want to discard. Or draw even, but I guess it's still fine. We don't need this at all for like anything. Don't need this. I guess we'll take dog. I can activate just to send it. It doesn't do anything. I'm gonna discard this. Yeah, sure, we'll just summon whatever. Summon out bear. It doesn't make any difference. So we will just go straight into a link, I think. We'll go 1, 2. Into Phoenix. Phoenix effect. We'll discard chain. We'll go for another back row. IDP. Okay. What are you going for? Gonna banish my Nightmare Phoenix? You lost the fusion card anyway? Yeah. Exactly. Ah, don't bring back my ding. That's lame. So now I need to find a way to get that into the grave. I suppose it's going to be this, right? Go Brute Enforcer. I'll get my boy. I guess we'll go straight for symbol here. Okay. Goes for the pop. Negate. Okay, still resolve. And then I'll send this to the grave. Then I can use this. Goodbye. Okay, we somehow won after milling Babel and Frightful Fusion. We somehow won that. Kyber sold the KC Cup to Mizar, apparently. Would Proxy F Magician be good in this if you lost your fusion spell or whatever? The problem that Fluffle has, and it's a problem the deck has always had, is it's so tight for space. So if you want to run it at 20 cards, there's not a lot of wriggle room. So as you can see on this down here, it's so unbelievably tight. And every card like has a very specific role, like even in the extra deck. So like, if we were playing a 30 card build, we could like flex it a little bit or over 20 card, but the Kaiser Cup. But yeah, it's a tricky line to walk. Even in like Master Duel, the deck tends to be sitting at like 45 to 50 cards. That's because it's so hard to jam everything you need in. Win streak 4, win it or gain a rank. This sounds like a Tachyon player to me. This hand is dog shit. No matter how we use this hand, it never ends well. This is straight up just a really bad hand. Which is a shame. That's the best thing we could have hoped for. It's always dog. Always normal dog. Dog effect. We have no way to get discard, so it has to be sabers. Activate our skill. Send sabers, send chain. Special sheep. Sheep effect. Log back to hand. Bring back chain. Then we'll go for harp. Into nightmare. Then we go Galatea. Edge of chain effect. We'll grab Frightful Fusion. Then we'll go nightmare. Boost Galatea. Dump the symbol skeleton. Then we'll go Galatea. Put back the nightmare. Set a card. Give me my Babel, please. Then we'll go into Decode. Followed by Symbol Skeleton. Bring back the Galatea. Then we go into Dingirsu. We reattach the Symbol Skeleton. We flip this over. And we pass. Alright. Considering we opened a massive brick, we did really well to get to this board. This is not the strongest board we can make, but it's close. I don't know how long I was muted for, if I just muted myself. But we got some delicious water. Yeah, so this is not the strongest board we can make, but it's okay. Now, against Tachyon, it'll be interesting to see what it actually does. Grabs out the spiral. Guess we should bump up that Tachyon count as well. Alright, what are you making, Tachyon Man? Going straight in with Tachyon Dragon, okay. Grabs the transmigration. Gets out the Swat Shield. Schwarzschild. What are you making? Oh yeah, it's always the second monster that's the big question mark. Like, are they gonna make... They're gonna make their, like, Armor Dragon? They're gonna go for a pop? They're gonna make just Ding? Ding is probably the safest thing you can make here. But Ding doesn't actually kill us. Goes into the Ding. Now what are you picking? Sends that. That's fine. I mean, I guess we'll try for it, right? Now this will get the trap off of him. Now it comes down to, does he have another one or not? Because we're not actually... no, yeah, that does end it then. Okay, so I had to wait. Would it have mattered? So he needed to keep the other guy out to stop me from using it during the battle phase, but then he could have done it anyway. Right, so he misplayed, right? Because if he was ending his he was entering the battle phase. But if he didn't enter the battle phase and just summon this, didn't he just win anyway? Like, didn't he misplay into winning? I mean, I would have lost either way, right? But I wouldn't have died this turn because of his misplay. But because I used the effect before he entered the battle phase to try and play around Tachyon, I let him un-misplay himself. That's weird. That's such a weird thing. So that means he was actually a really, really bad Tachyon player. Love how innocent my strongest normal turn 1 board looks. Just a single level 4 attack position with 100 attack and a set card. 90% of the time when they have that board, I basically get my opponent's entire... Okay, we're playing against Eternal Bond again. Misplay into winning the entire epitome of tier 0. Alright, we always summon Dog. There's no reason to not summon Dog. So where does Dog go is the question. There's no reason to take this unless we want to go 1 into 1. Which basically gets me to the exact same place. Unless we specifically want to go for wings, which actually might be the play here. So... No, but then I can't get the discard anyway. Wings goes nowhere. Bear gets me also nowhere. This gets me nowhere. Alright. I think we have to do this. And this is all going to be entirely Gamba. We're going to entirely see if we can luck into this. That was unfortunately not what we wanted. I mean, we could take sheep, but like it doesn't go anywhere, so we might as well just take wings. Because we got literally nothing going on here. Yep, we bricked real bad. Let's see if we can somehow live this turn. Keeper of Dragon Magic, eh? Discards the Kiteroid, which is almost certainly dead if he's discarding Kiteroid. And I hate this card so much. I mean, is this just straight death on board? So I take, what, like 800, then 13. Oh, I might not be dead. $50 life points and a dream. That's a card to draw. Alright, let's use Vendor first. We'll send this. This is where things get interesting. But we haven't normaled yet, so we can always just special this out. That's fine. Now we're going to do this in this order, because if we do draw more Orcus cards, we want to be able to see what they are. So we have more chances to throw stuff in graveyard. Boy Vendor effect. We'll just grab Sheep. Now we're going to use Return and just kind of hope. Okay, World Wand is fine. Could have been better, but it's still fine. We don't need this engrave. So just to get more cards in our hand, we could just normal with that. Right, we'll special summon this before we lock ourselves into anything. I guess we might as well use this. Put this back in our hand. Bring this out. Here, I think we are going to just straight up go for Phoenix. I want to start messing with his back row. Phoenix effect. Then we're going to go with the Hot Horror. Bring out the Nightmare. And we'll go for Galatea. We'll go Nightmare. Boost Galatea. Send Skelly. We'll then go World Wand. Bring back Nightmare. And then go Galatea. Put back World Wand. Get out the Babel. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. So now, do I want to do this? I think either way we just link these off, right? Question is, do we go into this? Probably. Oh, wait a minute. We could do a really funky play. Should be into this. No. 3-1. Oh, no. We're running out of time. Right. I'm cooking too hard here. Oh, I don't think we have enough time to finish the turn. Right, we'll go decode. Go 1. Using this, and this, and this. Yes. This. 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 Hey, Sakadetsu. I'm unfortunately about to lose to timer. Yeah, we can't do anything now. Yeah, we'll just let the timer take us. Yeah, unfortunately, because he did have the he had the cards to protect from Grave anyway. I don't think there's anything... Well, we were on 50 life points and he had a card that could burn us on the field, so we lose if we end turn. I don't know what we could have done there. I think him having Neo's Fusion and Lance meant we couldn't win there. I'm pretty sure we just straight up could not win. There was just nothing I could do. I think we... Alright, apart from running out of time, I think we played that as best as we could have. We still could have gotten rid of the Kluger on the following turn if we had flipped up our Babel, but then we have no way to deal with the Wiseman that comes after it. And we were on 50 life points because we bricked astronomically on that turn 1. Right, send Chain, send Sabers. Summon Dog. Dog effect. We have to take Wings, right? The problem is if we take Wings, we have no way to actually use Wings. I'd have to do a really weird... No, because I'd have no way to... Right, we're just going to take Bear. Because the only way to make Wings work is to, like, piss everything else away, which just does not seem worth it. So we're going to go Bear here. Grab this out. Special this. Use the effect. Dog back to hand. Bring back Chain. I can then flip this up. I could... The problem is, if I want to make a good turn on board, I have to just hope the top card of my deck is a good Orcus card. Okay. This gets us somewhere. This gives us another chance at an Orcus, which we didn't hit, but this now gives us... Unfortunately, we don't have a discard for it anymore. What we could have done would have been to link. Which maybe would have been better. Probably would have been better. So we have no way to discard using this current hand that we have. Even in our extra deck, we have nothing. That's it. It's so funny when I lance my opponent's fusion materials or ritual mats. Wait, why? What? What's going on here? Why did we open with Book of Moon on Edge of Chain? I have no idea what this is. Oh, he just gets rid of my banished pile? What did I even have banished? Nothing I cared about, right? No Orcus cards. I'm very confused. Okay, so what does this thing do? Banish one S4 from your hand, draw a card your opponent, Sinkhole and Jest Force. Okay, so we can't do anything during my turn. Okay. Guess I'll go Vendor. And I will send Nightmare as probably the pick. I can just summon the Harp. Oh, come on. That's frustrating. Alright, we'll flip up Chain. Normal Harp. Chase. That's pretty cringe. We can probably still do stuff here though, right? We'll go Sabres, put this to top, bring this back. Then we can go for Brute. Summon out Enforcer. Activate the effect. Discard Harp. Pop that. Then we go... Harp. Needs to bring out specifically Symbol Skeleton. We then go into Galatea. We'll then go Orcus Nightmare. Target the Galatea. Send World Wand. Activate World Wand. Bring back Nightmare. And then, yeah, that's just game. We bricked so hard. And our opponent... I don't even know what happened. I think he probably bricked a little bit, but he just randomly threw his Book of Moon away for, like, no reason at all. Could not tell you what the plan was, if there was indeed a plan. It's quite nice just having, like, no strings attached at this point. Like I said, our goal was to get to the Legend. We've hit Legend, so, like, everything here is gravy. Mizar, is this going to be the 13th Tachyon player? We'll be finding out soon. We haven't run into... It was a shame concede. I mean, he knew he was dead, right? As long as he knows what our deck does. Yeah, that's a Tachyon. That's a Tachyon. The 13th Tachyon player to bless our games. Is this going to be Tachyon FTK is the question. We haven't seen one yet. Not today. Tachyon Transmigration. Activates the trade-in. Ooh, trade-in's usually the FTK, right? Oh, no. Brother in Christ, what has gone wrong? Well, we'll start by Edge Imp assisting. We got to deal with all of the bullshit back row still, though. So we'll summon. Go for dog. Once again, there is no reason to take that right now with this hand. I could take this. That gets me 2 discards, which is probably the best. Although, Fluffle Sheep is arguably better. 1 less discard, though. Right, I'll go Sheep. This gets us Fusion. Grab this back. Bring out the chain. Here, I think we are just going to go straight into Phoenix and start slapping these back row. This also does get me the second discard that I want. And we'll use Chain Effect. How did he brick? He only opened one level 8, I'm guessing. And discarded it for trading to try and find 2. There's Book of Moon. Doesn't work on me. I'll go Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor effect. Discard the symbol. Now, I guess we'll just go straight in with Nightmare. Boost up the Nightmare Phoenix. I guess it's got to be World One. There's no other option. Do we just shotgun this is the question to try and get rid of the back row? I think we probably should. We'll just go with it. We'll go for Fight for Fusion here. Before we start spinning all of our Orcus plates. This might be the wrong way round. I just want the back row gone before I start doing everything where I can get interrupted at any point. Now he's going to have something he can do here. The question is what? What you got for me, buddy? IDP? It is IDP. There's the other card being activated as well. We've got 2 Fiends down. So if he wants to get rid of a card on the field, he has to hit Chain. Everything else is a machine. Oh, Book of Moon plus that is actually really important. Because now I can't do my full combo, which gives him another chance. We could have done that at any time. If I use that, I can bring back, link those into that. Thanks for the follow. And get rid of that, then overlay, then swing. That's basically the same as doing nothing. I think we just go to battle. It sucks, but the alternative is basically just get in for 28 direct damage and end on a long Gearsu. Like your music choice? Thanks. It's just the playlist that we usually listen to. But unfortunately, I think we're now dead. If it wasn't for exactly... anything that messes with our graveyard really messes this deck up, because our graveyard is like so important. I think no matter what we did, he always messed us up there, without us getting like an extra way to get a body on board. Our hope was that he was just going to get rid of one of our monsters, which would have been fine, but now we're basically just dead. Is there any world in which he doesn't just immediately win the game here? No, he's got game. I don't know, he must have had all these cards before though. I don't understand how he didn't win last turn. Because he added one to hand, he only drew one for turn, which means he must have had the other monster in hand. So he had 2 level 8s. So he could have just special summoned them all. I don't know. I think he's just an idiot. Which is a shame as well, because it really sucks losing to people that are playing really badly, but tier 0, right? You just get every Tom, Dick, and Harry picking up the deck. No idea what they're doing. So is this going to be another Tachyon player? Oh, live twins. The Mizar bait and switch. Right, we go pink. If they had any way to brick, the deck would be at least tier 1 instead. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, did he just not know the turn 1 board or something? Like he must have had full combo, because the deck never doesn't have full combo. And yet, I don't know, it's weird. Only one back row. And we've left both on board. Very strange. Unfortunately, that is actually the worst draw in our deck, but maybe we can make this work. We always summon Dog. If this gets interfered with, we have nothing. If this gets negated. Because this hand is a hard brick. Right, we need Bear, because we need to get to Toy Bender, because we need to discard some cards. The most important card that we get in the grave is probably the Harp. I mean, it's not the best card we could have hit, but it's pretty good. At this point, we just kind of go for it, right? So I'll go Harp. Bring out the only target left in the deck. We'll go straight into Galatea. Hey, Corono. Friendly reminder today, I think, semi-last day for 4 free sub in Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I haven't played 14 in a long time. Okay. So now I'll go Nightmare. Boost this. We'll send World Wand. Enemy Controller is such a weird card where I think it's completely stopped us in our tracks, even though like it feels like it shouldn't have. I'll just end. Now he's going to use that to bring back blue. Can blue pop his own cards? Yeah, I'll continue my main phase. So now I can use World Wand to bring that back and bring that back. Right, we'll go World Wand. Bring back Nightmare. Then we're going to go Skeleton. Bring back Galatea. We'll go Galatea effect. Put World Wand back. We'll set the Babel here. Now the question is, are we going all in with the Longyesu? It's a little bit tricky, so I won't be able to attach. But I think I do want to do this. Right, we use Longearsu effect, put these two back in. We'll overlay Ding onto Long. We'll get rid of this. We don't have any more bodies to summon, unfortunately, but we can get in for a chonk and then pass. Now the question is, when do we want to fire off some of these effects? I'll use Fluffle Dog effect. Go! If you remove they link, he is depend of top deck. Well, he's got the top deck. Brings back Pink. Pink gets the draw. And what? Link into Pink. Pink bring back Blue. Blue go to Pop. Use the effect to protect. Where is he going with this is the question. Home. Just get a card special when a kiss comes from your deck. First turn, that's card results. That's fine. He might try to pop the field spell. I mean, he might do, but I can't do anything about it if he does. Well, I can protect it with Ding, but after that... I don't think there's a reason to, like, shotgun get the Symbol Skeleton in Graveyard, because there's nothing to bring back right now until this is gone. Right, there's Link into Pink. Pink's going to bring back Blue. Go, dog! Such a weird bug. Blue effect goes for a pop. We protect. This is definitely just a pop, right? Destroy it, yeah. So we can protect. Now what are we doing? Is that it? No, we'll go it again. Okay, between two link monsters, because special summon, you can affect your opponent controls 3 or more cards. They must send cards to the graveyard so they control 2 cards. What else does this thing do? Okay, we will use Orcus Nightmare's effect here. We're going to send Symbol Skeleton to grave. And we're going to send Toy Vendor to grave. Trigger Toy Vendor effect. Now, I don't need dog. Don't really need that. No, we'll take that. We've got another Toy Vendor in deck, right? Yeah, we do. So we'll take there. Okay, we're in battle phase. That's fine. With the power of the Symbol Skeleton, I revive the mighty Dingirsu. And then I'm going to get rid of that. Wow. Now, how much are we actually playing around his stuff is the question. Do we just attack? I kind of want to play around his stuff just in case. I don't really have a good way to play around it because he hasn't got anything on the field. I guess I'll just summon out Dog. He has a reaction. He has something he can do. Which does make me a little bit nervous. Which means that it makes me feel like I shouldn't just like haphazardly go to battle phase. Right, Dog back the hand. Bring out Chain. Dog or Bear effect even. Grab Vendor. Maybe he might have Kite Roy. So by golly, we're going to play around it. I kind of want to make this. Problem is, I've no way to get that back. I'll go 1, 2. Into Brute. Trigger Chain. Grab Fright Fur. Flip over Vendor. Vendor effect. Discard Sabers. Sure, we'll just grab out Dog. Welcome ads. Then we'll go Decode. Right for fusion. Let's make a 6 material wolf. Go wolf. Okay, well, just in case we had a 6-map wolf that could attack 6 times for 12,000 plus the other like 5,000 damage on board. Just in case we needed the 17,000 damage, okay? Because you never know. The only time you don't do it is the time that they throw down a Kite Roid and then you just grit your teeth and go, oh, that's fine, I suppose. Not to mention, he could have surrendered at any point. He chose to watch us pop off. Punch face, I don't think he run Kite Roid. That's the thing. The second you think he doesn't have it, Sakadetsu, bam! It hits the graveyard. You can never trust these people. Everyone runs Kite Roid. Ew. That's not... This hand could be worse. It could be worse. Let's sugarcoat it with it could be a lot worse. Just in case you flex on him. Well, that's the thing, right? You've always got to go for it. Well, that's a Melody. Sending Deep Eyes. I don't see Deep Eyes very often. Right. This is the one that banishes, right? No, this is the one that destroys. Oh, God. Which is the one that banishes? I always get confused with the Blue Eyes cards. Alright, MR comes down. Brings back the Abyss. Means you can add a Ritual spell or Poly. During the end phase, he can add a level 8 monster from his deck to his hand. This doesn't feel unbreakable. I guess it depends what we draw. Like a dog here would be really nice. We've got 3 of them in the deck. That's fine. I don't think there's a world in which we toy vendor here. We always bear, so we always want a toy vendor. We'll activate the vendor. We'll use it and discard the harp. Dog's very good for us. Dog effects. Now this is where things get funky because we can basically do anything we want here. I think here we do just take the wings. Because wings will get us into another card anyway. So we'll go vendor. Vendor effect, discard wings. Sure, we'll take another summon. Let's get a bear out. Wow. Then we'll go wings. Banish bear. Send this to grave. That's fine. Would have liked to have not drawn that, but it's still okay. We'll grab sabers. Now we'll activate our skill. We'll send sabers, we'll send chain. We still haven't normaled yet, which is very funny. I guess we force out the back row whilst also getting a discard. That's the next stage. Phoenix effect. Discard the nightmare. I'll get the back row. It was Crackdown. That was never going to do anything. Now we'll go Harp. Harp grabs Symbol Skeleton. We go 1. We go 2. Summon out the Galatea. We'll go Nightmare. Boost up the Galatea. Send the wand. Activate wand. Bring back Nightmare. Use Galatea. Put back wand. Grab the return. Then we'll just go for decode. Here we will go. And I guess we could just shotgun it, right? How many do we have in graveyard currently? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got plenty. Alright, let's just go for this then. We'll go Frightful Fusion here. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll just bring it out here. Come on down, Frightful Tiger. Frightful Tiger effect. Go for this. Go for this. Go for this. Can activate this. Then we'll go Symbol Skeleton. Bring back Galatea. And we'll go Ding over the Galatea. And that's the game. That's the game. Gotta love Crack. Well, you know, your words, not mine. Crackdown is such a weird card as well, just in general. Because, like, in a lot of ways, it's like Snatch Steal on your opponent's turn. And that sounds busted. But it's like, it's a good card. It's fantastic, right? But like, I find that I very rarely lose to Crackdown specifically, right? Because a lot of the time it will be like, they'll try and crack down my Phoenix as it's blowing up the Crackdown. And then I'm like, okay, this is fun. Ooh, Shizu. This has got me worried. What does a Shizu mean? That is a hand. Jeez. I mean, this hand has plays. We'll have to see where it actually goes and if those plays actually end up doing anything. Because they might. They also might not. Evil Eye. Okay, I have not played against Evil Eye literally ever. Ah, no, don't mess with my graveyard. I need my graveyard for things. I'm not feeling great about this. Alright, Toy Vendor. What's this one? Target one spell track your projectiles, destroy it! Oh, that is the best thing he could have done. Wait. It banished... Why didn't it banish the destroyed card? Ah, that's a shame. That's fine then. It's a shame we didn't get it just straight up destroyed. Because it being destroyed would have been really good for us. But banished kind of sucks. Alright, we'll go Vendor. Do we... I think we have to send World Wand because he's just going to banish our Harp Horror if we just send it to Grave. Because this effect, just the ability to just banish as a quick effect. That gives us at least something to do. The issue is, we summon this, link them off, then he uses the effect to get rid of that. I mean, if he banishes it, we can still use World Wand to bring it back. We are going to have to discard our Fright for Fusion, though. What is this? Return to hand. Okay. That is probably the most annoying. Even if he banished, we still could have brought it back using World Wand. Well, we don't have anything else, so that's the end of our turn. That's a shame. I feel like we opened such a strange bricky hand, and he managed to open like the perfect counter to our weird bricky hand, right? Like there would have been a lot of hands that could have outed what we had, but he used every card he had available to him and only just stopped us. Sealed Tombs. Neither player can banish cards. Oh, he's just a Floodgate player. He's just a Floodgate control player. Oh, that's sad. Okay. I mean, that's the best card we could have drawn, but... we can't banish from Grave. So we have to get this. This is the other issue, is as soon as we put a card into Grave, he's just gonna banish it from the Grave. So we actually, I think we have to activate Toy Vendor. We have to send Harp Horror to Grave. Wait, does he still not have a quick effect? Oh, Celine. Yes, he has that. So why isn't he... Oh, because he can't banish my cards either. Oh, he just messed himself up. I didn't realise and thus messed myself up. So he stopped himself from being able to banish. So to try and stop him from banishing, I deliberately didn't send Sabers to grave, hoping I would draw into a Fluffle, special the Sabers out, and then get the fusion off that way. Which means I think I actually just threw the game. I had the win. Like, depending on what this face down card was, I had the win, and I actually just threw it. Our win con now is that he doesn't reconnect. That is our new win con. Man, yeah, there we go. That was our win con. We managed to play into our win con, fortunately, which is just not surrendering. But, oh, yeah, we could have... I need to know that for future if we go up against that exact deck again. Sealed Tombs seems really bad. Because of his Sealed Tombs, I had a chance to win there. I need to know that for future. That's good to learn. That's good to learn. Okay. Asta Phoenix. This is probably like zombie heroes, right? That's what all the kids are playing these days. Why? What? Just don't be in my hand together, please. Just either one of you's fine. The other one needs to get the heck back in the deck. Yeah, problem is as well, the only way I have to put cards back in my deck is Edgimp Sabers. So there's no way to fix this. I just don't get my skill this game. At least I can use this to get rid of the wand and draw 2. Hard poly. What are we making? Goes for dangerous. And we've now got Baladrock in the grave. Goes for malicious. He's got one negate and one banish from grave, which he's going to have for next turn. Sounds like a skill issue. Right, Beatrice comes down. Detach. Necro Banshee. Get the zombie world. Okay. Fluffle Bear. Goes for Baladrock. Brings it back. So let's start with... So we can negate one effect when a monster effect is activated. So if I do this now, he can't do anything about this. Except this. Okay, so now he can negate the effect, but he cannot do anything else. So if I just summon Dog, let's see if he negates this. Dog effect activates, which is a zombie monster's effect. So he goes for the negate. So now I'll go Bear. Flip over Toy Vendor. Part of me is just like, do I just send Edgimp Chain? Because this deals with like his whole board. Well, almost his whole board. No, it doesn't, because I need to find a way to summon this. This is the safest option. Okay. So he negated the effect, not the activation. So we go chain. So now I can go Nightmare. Boost this. So now he'll use Baylor Drop just to banish Bear. Oh, on the field. Oh, okay. Not sure why you want to get rid of Dog that bad, but that's fine. What's in Harp? Oh, what does she do? Sending Mischief of the Nose. Okay. That's fine. Mischief of the Nose does nothing to me. Now I'll go Harp. We'll grab out Symbol Skeleton. Now the question is, how do we want to actually play this? I mean, we don't really have many ways we can play it, so we are just going to go for the generic line. Agent Chain. $13 Tachyons? Hey, Faustra. Yeah, well, in total of 13 Tachyons we played during this climb. We'll add this. Fortunately, we don't really have a good way to use it. Now we'll go World Wand. Bring back Nightmare. Again, you can gnomes me. This is fine. Alright, now we're going to go Galatea. We'll put back World Wand. Get out the Babble. Flip it over. Now we're going to make Decode. Are we going to make a Decode? Yeah, we'll make a Decode, right? I don't think there's a world in which we don't make Decode. Then we'll go Symbol Skeleton. Bring this back. I'm not really sure what we hit here is the primary issue. I'm actually... Is there any way we can, like, game him here? I don't think so. We'd have to get another body. So I could link those off, get that out, pop one, then use Fright Fur Fusion. That kind of does it, right? We go Brute. Brute effect. Discard Sabers. Target whatever. It doesn't really matter, does it? Then we go Fright Fur Fusion. Oh, we don't have lethal. I mean, we've got them on next to nothing, but we are just shy of lethal. Ah, that's sad. Okay. Yeah, we can't do anything because we got our own field spell up. Okay. Ah, I'm so annoyed that we're 200 damage shy. I don't think we could have got the extra 200 from anywhere. Maybe. I think if we'd seen the play earlier, we could have just not made decode and we would have had lethal. But we didn't spot it until it was too late. This is very strange. What's his play? I'm like actually speechless. Like, I'm sure he had a line there to win the game, but didn't because reasons. We'll take it, I guess. I mean, a dub is a dub is a dub, I suppose. Oh, who have we got in? Looks like there's a lot of chat during that game. Sure has a lot of cards they want to banish from their own graveyard. Cough level 2 tuner, 13 tachyons. I'm at a 5 stream streak. Good job, Shy. Thanks for always sticking around. Really appreciate it. Hit zombie or to stop resurrection. Pot of Celestial. He doesn't love a bit of Pot of Celestial. I mean, even I remember a long ass time ago when Destiny Hero was like the only deck you saw for like it would have been like 3 or 4 months, and just I got so sick of like Celestial into like was it Drill Dark into Mask Change into Anki. It was like he could have gone for Plasma. Yeah, Plasma absolutely just destroys my entire deck. We have just nothing we can do into Plasma. So we're very happy he didn't do that. That's what happens when you build your deck for countering Tachyon. Makes sense. It's Pot Friend. Hello, Dwan. Unfortunately, I don't know how long you've been here, but we are just about to wrap up. This is the 3-hour mark, and unfortunately, we do have quite a busy schedule, so we'll not be able to play anymore. So that will be the end of the stream. Thank you again, everyone, so much for hanging out. We've had a blast seeing everyone. I guess we'll probably link. We'll probably raid into Luke since he's streaming. But we will be back again on Thursday for more of the same. We're going to be back to grinding out the ladder, back to trying to get that King of Games. Thank you again for the follow Mammoth Rage, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician decks anger me. For me, it's Eternal Bond. The Neo Stubel deck, just irrational rage. Nothing but irrational rage. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We're going to go ahead and raid into Luke. And then that'll be us done. Again, back on Thursday. So catch you later. Goodbye.
Rambus. Normal summon. Yo, thank you to Motosaurus for raid 15. Hope you're doing good. We had a good stream. Thank you for raid. Let me just give you a shoot-out before I continue. We're playing the new Evil Eye cards. Tomato. No, I can't spell. Tomato. Ah! There we go.